Our student speaker today is retired Major Shawn Monien of the United States Army, who graduated with a Master of Science degree in Management. Major Monien began his military service in 1996 and has been stationed both at home and abroad, serving in Germany, South Korea, and Iraq, where he served 2 combat tours. He was an adjunct professor of military science at Georgia Tech University and now holds the position of Vice President and Director of Strategic Planning for Forceprotector Gear and Industrial Stitchtech in Los Angeles. He is the recipient of numerous military decorations, including 2 Bronze Star Medals, a Combat Action Badge, and a Parachutist Badge. I am pleased and honored to introduce Major Shawn Monien.
Okay, before I begin, I know the grads are going to start their stopwatches, so I'm going to go for under 8 for any bets out there. Good afternoon to our esteemed Cardinal Stritch University leadership, our president, Dr. Loftus, family, friends, and most importantly, my classmates in the Cardinal Stritch University class of 2015. A momentous day indeed for each and every one of us. The theme of my speech today is be a trailblazer. Now, for you serious Milwaukee Bucks or Chicago Bulls fans in attendance, I'm not talking about changing allegiances to a distant Portland basketball team, but rather the essence of being the first person to break off a worn path and explore a new path for others to follow. Increasingly in this world, we find it harder to be the first person to do something. There's even a saying nowadays, being first isn't always best. Although the intrepid spirit to trailblaze is what has made America what it is today. I'm a trailblazer myself. The first person in my family to graduate from college. The first military service member in my family to be an Army officer. The first person in my family to get married in less than 90 days. The first person in my family to serve multiple combat tours. And today, the first person in my family to earn a master's degree. You're making me cry. Each of these firsts in trailblazing had numerous obstacles, but those now pale in comparison to the achievement at the end. My wife joked many times in the past 3 years that she had 3 students in the house, 1 in 4th grade, 1 in 6th grade, and their father in 19th grade. In 1920, Robert Frost penned perhaps one of his most famous poems, titled "The Road Not Taken." His words have resonated in some regard for every generation of mankind facing the trials and tribulations of the past 10+ decades since his ink dried. He starts by saying, quote, "2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that passing there, had worn them really about the same." What Frost describes is our internal struggle to decide if we will go with the flow, or decide to face adversity and risk more, to achieve a reward that might not even be there. Some have said the latter is the spirit and essence of the American experience, to which I identify these people as trailblazers. A trailblazer is defined by the dictionary as, quote, "a person who blazes a trail for others to follow through unsettled country or wilderness, a pathfinder, a pioneer in any field or endeavor," unquote. Indeed, in my early days in the Army, I attended Army Airborne School in which they learned how to parachute from a perfectly good airplane. In addition to their silver jump wings, many of my airborne instructors had a Pathfinder badge that was a torch with a wing on it. I would later learn that they were the men that jumped in and prepared the combat jump zones for everyone else to follow. A dangerous mission that is reflected in the torch and the associated responsibility they carried for ensuring success by trailblazing into dangerous areas before anyone else. Just the fact that all of you sitting here bears testament to the fact that you each took a road that not many Americans are choosing to in this day and age, higher education. Your endeavor started in elementary, middle, and high school without the forward vision to imagine yourselves in these seats today, just minutes away from graduation. For the non-traditional students and online learners, the moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, any great-grandparents out there today? You all blazed a trail through your personal and educational lives to pursue bachelor's, master's, and doctoral level degrees that have eluded you for many reasons. The beauty of our alma mater is the diversity of our students and their experiences, another key component in cultivating trailblazers. In the early years of the 13th century, Giovanni di Pietro di Bernardone, the son of a wealthy silk merchant, found his calling to be a trailblazer. In going to war, despite a life of opportunity, Bernardone would be profoundly changed by his combat experience, particularly as a prisoner of war. After being captured in the Battle of San Giovanni, after his release, he gave up wealthy privilege to seek a much more modest role in the Catholic Church as a friar and a preacher. Bernardone was a trailblazer that founded not one, but 2 orders to support men and women of the cloth, allowing them to continue work in their ministries. Bernardone blazes another trail to Egypt in 1219 with the intent trying to convert the Sultan to Christianity in an attempt to end the Crusades. An enduring symbol of this trailblazer can be seen in every nativity scene around the world at Christmas, as institutionalized by him just years before his death. This trailblazer is more commonly known as St. Francis of Assisi. The Franciscan values that were embodied in the lives of St. Francis and St. Clare resonate today in the inclusivity and diversity of our university, charging all in this institution to create a caring community, show compassion, reverence all of creation, and make peace. That's what trailblazers do. They take risks. They question the status quo in a respectful and polite manner, but nonetheless are willing to travel down the path that Robert Frost describes so eloquently. In his letter to the graduating class of 2015, Dr. Loftus calls on us to, quote, discern among the best things. Don't be content with the ordinary. Challenge yourself to find opportunities for excellence in even the most unlikely situations. You are all capable of having the same kind of effect in the world, unquote. Sure sounds like a trailblazer to me. I would like to thank 3 special trailblazers in my life here today. My wife, Kimmy, who along with my sons, Garrett and Lachlan, all trailblazed through many years of uncertainty, while I was deployed overseas to Korea and twice to combat in Iraq, almost continuously from 2004 to 2009. Their resiliency and support of my journey down very dangerous paths is truly amazing. I love you all. My challenge to you all today is to blaze another trail, whether that is continuing on in your education, the workforce, the ministry, volunteering, raising your families. No matter what it is, find that new trail and leverage what got you here today to cut a new path. People say our country is in decline, to which I disagree. It just has many paths that have overgrown or haven't even been identified. I think that perhaps the remainder of Robert Frost's poem captures our calling as trailblazers. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, Shawn, for those very inspiring remarks. Be trailblazers.